remote 100% of the time. We're like, nope, that's not the business we're in.
Not here. But I live in Arizona, not here.
Right, right,
But it's okay. I'm just in Metairie, not here.
right.
Well, great. Well, there are a lot of things going on, and but the big news, I think, is it's August, and August of last year, something special happened, and now it's a 1 year anniversary.
That's right. It's the 1 year anniversary of the Amtrak Mardi Gras train service. And this was a big deal, as you know, because we hadn't had this line in service for 20 years since Katrina. And through the work of a lot of people, the Southern Rail Commission, Walt Leger, and so many people working along the Gulf Coast with Amtrak to make this a reality. And we did. And we were so happy to bring it back a year ago. And Amtrak and all of us thought maybe within the first year we'll have 75,000 passengers. That would be a success. Well, it has exceeded our expectations. Within the first 8 months, we had 100,000 passengers. That's right. And this week, for the anniversary, we were able to announce 150,000 passengers
What?
have ridden on this train in the past year. It is one of the great success stories.
Double?
Doubled the expectation.
Wow.
So I was out there on Tuesday morning, and it was packed with passengers. One lady was there in a customized T-shirt that she had made for the occasion because
Wow.
she rode the inaugural ride a year ago. Made some friends on the train. She and those ladies came back, and they had T-shirts made for the anniversary, and they were riding again for the anniversary. So there was a lot of celebration, a lot of excitement. The Amtrak folks were out there giving everyone a certificate and a commemorative pin, and it's just been really successful.
What do you think has led to such success? I mean, a lot of times when you set a goal and you said, we think this can work, but along the way you're like inching it over. And at what point did you all realize that, oh my goodness, this is a bomb.
Mhm.
This is a hit.
Well,
At what point?
Well, we saw it the first couple of months in, and then definitely we confirmed that at the 8 month mark when we hit 100,000 riders, thinking we were going to get 75 for the whole year. But, I've taken the train and I've seen it, and it is, first of all, it's very comfortable. It's very affordable. I find it much more relaxing. Like if you drive to Mobile, you're driving, you got to be focused and sit in traffic and whatnot. This is just, you can sit back, relax. There's Wi-Fi, there's air conditioning. It's very comfortable. It's beautiful scenery along the Gulf Coast. You go through Bay St. Louis and Biloxi, and it's really just a lovely, relaxing way to travel. It's very stress-free. Passengers just line up, board the train, it leaves. It's so seamless, and I think people have appreciated that. We had to increase the number of cars during Saints games last year, for example, because people from Mobile would take the train in, go to a Saints game, and then go back home the same day. So people are using it for leisure, for fun, for family reunions. I was on the train one day and saw a big family reunion group, and then people are doing it for business and conventions as well. So it's been a big success. One of the things I like about it is the cafe car, on the train. You can go buy food and drinks, but these are all branded as New Orleans products. So you can get community coffee or an Abita beer or muffalata, things like that. So it's really, they've done a good job incorporating the Mardi Gras theme.
So one of the things you mentioned was more cars for the Saints game. I just want to know, Saints didn't have a great season. Love them, always have loved them, will love them. They're my team. But
too.
6-11, and all these people coming on a train, can you imagine what's going to happen when they get to win number 7, 8, 9, 10? Because it's coming.
I hope so. And
It's
I bet they're
coming.
going to need more cars. I mean, if it's any indication of what we saw last season with the demand.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, people from not here getting on that train,
Hmm.
loading it up, need more cars because of the Saints traffic, and they did 6 and 11.
Yeah,
So, you always pull out more people when there's a winner.
that's right.
So great.
We actually pulled some numbers, Will, and we saw that over the past year, we've seen a 20% increase in visitation from Mobile.
Mm.
And we've seen similar increases from the other cities along the route, the beautiful cities along the Mississippi Gulf Coast. So, whether it's for a Saints game or people are coming in for other things, it's really been a success, and we're just so happy to have this back. People always ask, well, is there going to be expansion? Right? Does this mean we could take the train to Baton Rouge, or could we go to Pensacola or into Florida? And of course, that's up to Amtrak. But I think if the demand that we're seeing on this particular line is any indication, then there's a lot of interest out there and people are taking advantage of the service.
Well, let me tell you something you don't know. My wife and I were on a marriage retreat this past weekend,
Okay.
and we participated in every single event, but also got off out of the resort and away from the retreat. And there were people who, I'm a chitty chatter. So, I'm talking to the servers and to this one and to that one, and they are pissed about
Why?
the Amtrak Mardi Gras service
Why?
because it's not coming to Florida.
Oh. Okay.
And it's like, well, when is this going to happen? They should be coming here. And I'm like, really? I just started. Well, they should be coming here. I'm like, uh-oh.
We would
I
love
think-
that.
I think there's some building public support for this idea
Well,
because they know it's there.
Yeah, and think of how many New Orleanians, may go to Destin or
Destin
Pensacola
in
for their
particular.
summer vacation, or Panama City in that whole line. So
Absolutely.
we would love to see that expansion.
Yep. Well, just know.
All right.
It's personal experience.
Personal focus group.
All right. So you got some other things going on. I mean, lots of people think about the summer in New Orleans and it's so slow and all. It might be slower than other times of the year, but there's still good, rich entertainment, culture, food going on in the summer. So as we head toward the end of the summer, tell us a little bit about what summer has been like around here.
Well, August is traditionally slower, and that's why we bring in some special programs to try and stimulate business. And one of those is the culinary restaurant promotion, which is now in its 22nd year. Over 140 restaurants all over the city are offering special deals and great values. So you can get a 2-course lunch for $28 or less, and a 3-course dinner or brunch for $58 or less. So I was in the French Quarter last weekend, and it was fairly crowded, for being in mid-August. And people are taking advantage of the culinary specials. We're hearing that from the restaurants that does make a difference, and then we're putting a lot of marketing and promotion support behind it. So it does help sustain our restaurant community during the summer months. We also are doing Museum Month to try and encourage folks to get into our museums. That is also going on through the end of August. So if you're a member of one museum, you can get into another museum, you and a guest, at no charge. One of the 30 participating Museum Month restaurants. And then we even took it a step further this year, and because we want to be creative, we want to constantly have new things out there. We said if you book a 2-night hotel stay on neworleans.com and you stay before the end of September, and that's open for locals as well, if someone wanted to do a staycation, we'll give you a $100 Visa gift card. And
All righty.
so we've done
So
that.
basically, you're getting a discount for staying for 2 nights in August.
That's right. I mean, and that $100 gift card could pay for a culinary dinner, right? Or you can go to a music club or spend it however you wish in a store or anything. So again, we're we're trying to get through and do these different promotions and things. And then I will tell you that the fall is looking really good in terms of business and some major conventions coming through.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So, you with Museum Month, that's something that my wife and I look forward to because, like a number of people, we have our museums that we like and that we go to, and sometimes people are like, "Thanks for coming back," you know. But
Right.
there are a number of others.
But there's 30 just doing this
That's
promotion.
right.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
number of others, and we have others we're going to try to squeeze in before the end of the month. But of course, we love museums enough that we're not limiting it to this month
Right.
because
And that's the goal.
we
Yeah.
love what New Orleans has to offer.
Well, we have a passport program. If you are doing Museum Month, there's a passport, and you can go around and get your passport stamped and qualify to win prizes. But that's the goal, right? With the restaurants and the museums, we want people to maybe get a sample this August, but keep going back throughout the year
right.
as you and your wife do.
Yep, yep, yep. So Black America Fest is coming up next month. Tell us about that, when that's going to be,
So
what that's about.
it's September 25th and 26th at the Broadside, which is 600 North Broad in Mid City. It's a 2-day festival, and it celebrates and is all about Black artists. So it's Black artists working across Americana, country, folk, related music traditions. There are live performances, panels, interactive art, and family friendly programming. The lineup for this year is pretty good. There's Robin Barnes, who's a great friend of New Orleans and Company.
Hmm.
She's one of the performances. There's also, it extends beyond musical performances. There are conversations about Black musical traditions. It's all about accessibility and community participation. It's very family friendly, and tickets are on sale now. It's not too late. It's still a little over a month away. And, again, another major event, a major cultural event in the month of September is a really great thing.
So, for those of you all who haven't been before, we've been to Black Americana Fest. And what I like about it is that New Orleans has a special culture, and that's why so many people come here. It's a great city physically, but people really come here for the people and the culture. And what I like about the Black Americana Fest is it shows a different part of our culture.
Mhm.
So, we know we love jazz and we love our second lines and all of that kind of thing. But there are black folks playing country music,
Mhm.
black folks doing folk music, black folks doing roots related music. And you get to talk about this. So if that's not a part of your regular music taste and listening, you don't have to just listen. You can learn about it at the panels and the sessions. And I love that. I love that. I have a friend who is well, she's a retired military officer. She's a retired corporate attorney. And since she's retired for the second time, what she has her own band, and they do black folk music.
Mhm.
It's not jazz.
Yeah.
It's not R&B.
Yeah.
It's folk and indie kind of music. And I love that for her because she could have a band doing other kinds of things, but there's enough business with people wanting them to play. And so you can get a taste of that at the Black Americana Fest. So I recommend that one.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Is that diversity and lots of different types of music coming together and maybe more than what one would traditionally expect.
Hmm. Hmm. And big news out of the National Fried Chicken Festival. What a hit! I mean, hasn't been around that long and has moved from place to place. And I've been to the different locations, and each year I go and it's like, where did all these people come
Mhm.
from
Well,
for chicken?
it is. You know what? We love the National Fried Chicken Fest. This is actually its 10th anniversary, if you can believe that, and they've expanded it even more this year. It keeps getting bigger and better every year. Cleveland Spears and his team do a wonderful job producing this. I have to tell you a funny story. A couple years ago, I was at an international trade show promoting New Orleans, and I met with a journalist who was from Romania. And she sat down and said, "The greatest thing has just happened in Romania." And I said, "What?" And she said, "We got this place called Popeyes."
Ah!
And
That's
she starts
hilarious.
talking about how much she loves Popeyes. And I said, "Well, guess what? In New Orleans, we have an entire festival devoted to fried chicken."
Yeah,
And I
right.
said, "You should come." And she thought I was kidding. I said, "No, because, we fly in journalists to
Yes,
experience the culture, and
yeah.
then they report on it. And then that's part of how we attract visitors from around the world." And so we flew this journalist in, and she came to the Fried Chicken Festival. She thought it was the greatest thing ever. Cleveland and his team, they actually invited her to be a judge. So she got to judge some of the fried chicken, and she wrote a great story about it. And it's one of my favorite stories because it was like, she literally came here for fried chicken, which is maybe not something you would normally think of New
Right,
Orleans
right,
for.
right.
But yeah, they've done a great job. And this festival, it's October 2nd through 4th over at UNO, or now LSU New Orleans. And they'll have 40 restaurant vendors. Tickets are $21, and they've got a lot of great musical lineup as well. Nelly, the Ying Yang Twins, Carrie Hilson, a lot of great talent and great music. I mean, great food.
That's an incredible music lineup. The festival itself, take away the music. Let's just say it was, I'll say records, but of course it's not records. But if it was just that, the festival experience there is very rich.
I mean, 40 food vendors, and I probably sampled 20 of them when I was out there. They're incredible, and they keep getting better.
Yeah, it's at the point where I get frustrated because I get some of this chicken that looks so good. Oh, what creativity over here? That looks good. And it's like I can't just keep doing this 5 and 6 and 7 times. And it's like, okay, I need to walk by more of these stations and see what it looks like, make some choices. But have to take some of it home.
That's right. Let me clarify on the ticket prices. Friday tickets are $21.
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday it goes up to $70 because of this expanded music
Oh,
lineup that they're having.
absolutely.
But
Yeah.
still a pretty good deal if you think about the level of talent that they're bringing in and how much incredible food there is.
Yep. 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 And one of the things I love about the National Fried Chicken Festival is Cane's has been such an important sponsor
Yeah,
of
Louisiana
this,
grown company. Yep.
and they don't even have chicken out there. It's remarkable.
They don't? I thought
No,
they did.
no,
Oh
no.
my goodness.
Well,
Okay.
maybe that's changing this year, but they have their signage and their people, and uh, and even if they did, I mean, this is what they do,
Right.
chicken,
Yeah.
and it's like all these other companies and mom and pop operations,
Mhm.
and I talked to some of the vendors last year, and they were talking about how well they do at this one festival and then go back home and do what they normally do, but they do well.
Good.
And
That's what it's all about, is bringing
Yep.
business to people and bringing people together. And we love to hear when vendors, when it's worth their time and they're making lots of money. That's what we want.
Good, good, good. You got a few minutes to stay with us?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. I want to make sure we take a break.
Okay.
Gotta earn some money for the station, and so we're gonna take a break right here. I'm in conversation with Kelly Schultz from New Orleans and Company. The talk line is 504-582-9422, and there's more that you should know about, and hope you will stay tuned. This is WBLK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
everyone. I'm Elizabeth Kubel, and here are your headlines for you. We now know when the beloved Belle Chase teen who fell to his death last weekend in the shuttered Plaza Tower will be laid to rest. Services for Jacques St. Anne are tomorrow at OLPH Catholic Church. Visitation is set to begin at 10 a.m. with a funeral mass to follow. There will then be a private burial. This morning, 5 people are waking up without a home after a fire burned through an apartment building. This happened on Napoleon Avenue near South Liberty Street just before 7 last night. New Orleans firefighters were able to save 2 cats, but one remains missing this morning. No residents were hurt, but we are told that a firefighter was treated for heat-related illness, and the cause of that fire is under investigation right now. Bienvenue en Louisiana. This year's Rose Bowl parade will once again have a little Louisiana flair. Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser shared a rendering of this year's float featuring a giant pelican wearing Mardi Gras colors. This year's performer will be Robin Barnes, who is known as the Songbird of New Orleans. This will mark the 6th time since 2022 that Louisiana has sponsored a float in the parade. And that's a look for you at your Friday morning headlines. I'm Elizabeth Kubel for WBOK. Have a great day and a great
Trying to grow
weekend,
your
everyone.
business or increase traffic to your location? We can help. WBOK 1230 AM has a number of solutions that will meet your individual needs. Give one of our consultants a call today at 504-582-9420 or email us at info@wbok1230.com. And remember, an investment with WBOK is an investment in our community. Call today.
What's up, gang? This is DJ Wick, and I would like to invite you to join me this Sunday night for the Throwback Throwdown, 7 p.m. on WBOK 1230 AM and on KKNO 750 AM and 107.1 FM, as I have a very special show this Sunday to salute the man himself, Barry Richards, the Rita Czar, as he has passed on and gained his wings. I'm rebroadcasting the very first interview of the Throwback Throwdown with the Rita Czar as our special guest. Join us this Sunday night for the Throwback Throwdown with yours truly, DJ Wick, 7 p.m. on WBOK 1230 AM and KKNO 750 AM, 107.1 FM.
Step back into time and experience the moments that shaped our world at the National World War II Museum. This world-renowned museum brings history to life, telling the stories of the American experience in the war that changed the world, why it was fought, how it was won, and what it means today. From immersive exhibits to powerful personal stories, this is more than a museum. Go to nationalww2museum.org and plan your visit today.
New Orleans is built to host, and at the New Orleans Ernest N. Memorial Convention Center, it is where big ideas, major events, and careers come together under one roof. As the 6th largest convention center in the country with a team recognized as a national top workplace, we are proud to power the events that keep our city moving forward. Our staff of more than 450 brings nearly 3,900 years of combined experience, an average of almost 9 years each. If you're looking for a robust benefits package, career stability, and opportunity, visit mccno.com to explore open positions today.
Climate Hope NOLA presents this month's climate keyword, adaptation. Climate adaptation means preparing our communities for stronger storms, hotter days, flooding, and rising water. That means planting trees, restoring wetlands, protecting homes, and helping families recover stronger after disasters. In New Orleans, resilience is part of who we are and how we survive. Learn more, stay informed, and take action with Climate Hope NOLA. Visit Team Hope NOLA on Instagram to learn more.
WBOK is pleased to announce the reboot of Crosstown Conversations with host Gene Nathan, a heightened focus on cultural entertainment events and the creators who present them. The new time is now Saturday at noon. Tune into the stories of our exploding creative scene with Gene Nathan on Crosstown Conversations.
Good morning, Wake Up.
The Good Morning Show.
Good morning.
On WBOK.
Sure. We've worked hard to bring a lot of influential groups in the food world to the city. So we had earlier this year the world's 50 best restaurant awards, which was awesome. In July, we had the Bocuse d'Or and Pastry World Cup, which is an international culinary competition. So we're always trying to find ways. Everyone knows, of course, New Orleans has great food, but we're always trying to sort of elevate our reputation there. And one of those is through the James Beard. Many people know James Beard Foundation for the awards. Many of our New Orleanians have won awards there, but we're actually going to now be the kickoff city for something called the James Beard Taste America series. So this is a national program that celebrates supporting local independent restaurants, and it will be in 20 different cities across the country. But we're hosting the first one on September 16th at the Josephine, which is on Napoleon Avenue. It'll sort of be a walk around, tasting, food showcase type of thing. They'll have chefs from all over the country. Some are named ones to watch. A lot of New Orleans chefs are going to be participating in this. Dickie Brennan. You've got Sarah Brennan, Jacqueline Blanchard, Anna Castro, Duke Chase. A number of Effie and the team from Dakar Nola will be there. So a number of folks are involved in this, and there are tickets still available. It's jamesbeard.org/tasteamerica, and the food will be, I'm sure, incredible.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to a break, and thank you so much for joining us again. We might have to do this again.
I'm going to come back in person. Don't worry. This is so much better than over the phone. Thank you for having me in the studio.
Absolutely. And we're live streaming so people can see you, and that's always good. So thank you very much, Kelly, from New Orleans and Company. And, of course, people can always find out more by going to your website.
NewOrleans.com.
All right. Very good. All right. Stay tuned, folks, because we got a good conversation about our financial health coming up with Liberty Bank. It's 8:30. If you got to be there at 8:30, I hope you're already there. Otherwise, you are late. So be careful as you drive on where you are headed, wherever that is. Take care. Don't be one of the crazy drivers. Watch out for kiddos. All right. This is WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Today is a WDSU First Warning Weather Alert Day. We're under an extreme heat warning. We could feel all the way up to 115. Actual temperatures 94 to 98 degrees. There's also a marginal risk for severe weather, especially as it gets to the late afternoon through the evening, expecting strong to severe storms passing through. A lot of these will be scattered, but if you do get some heavy downpours, expect some strong winds to go along with that. Lows for tonight, 74 to 80 degrees. Another hot one for the weekend. For the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Richard.
Good morning. Wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
This is The Law and Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton.
When it comes to family planning, should you go with a will or a trust?
A will is like leaving instructions to the court. It tells them who gets what, but your family still has to go through a succession, which can be costly and time-consuming.
A trust, on the other hand, avoids court altogether. So when the time comes, everything transfers smoothly to your loved ones.
It's a little more work up front, but way less hassle and expense later. Plan smart, save time, and take care of your family.
This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. We appreciate you spending some time with us, whether you've been in tune with us since 702, 704, 706, or whenever, or even if you've been in tune since 802, 804, 806, 810, 12. Or if you're just tuning in, guess what? You are right on time because we're jumping into a conversation with our Liberty Bank friends. And, of course, we have Dr. Angel Burns back in the house, always here. And let's see who you brought with you this time. We got Gary McNamara.
Yes.
First time at WBOK. He is Senior Vice President of Specialized Lending and Legal Counsel. And so automatically that sounds like, what do you need me to do? I can do small, medium, and large.
Yeah,
I have the confidence, I have the talent and the skills.
That's right.
And you need me. Well, welcome to the Good Morning Show. Gary, you're familiar with WBOK to a degree.
That's correct, and it's a pleasure to be here, so thank you.
All right. And so people know who Dr. Burns is, as they hear from her as regular visitor that she is. But Gary McNamara, who's your mama in there?
Well, I'm a native New Orleanian. I'm a proud New Orleanian. Wouldn't want to live anyplace else. My wife and I raised 3 boys in New Orleans, and 2 of them wound up in Texas as far as some good job opportunities. Got 1 here, but we are very devoted to New Orleans, and my dad was a banker before me, and it kind of, I guess, runs in the blood, and picked up a lot of inspiration from him. So I want to do everything we can for this community.
What high school?
De La Salle.
Hey, all right, for the De La Salle people. All right, so let's talk about lending loans. There are all kinds of lending loans, and of course there are some that more of us regular folks have, and we care about those and what goes into it, and need people to explain, what are we doing, what's the best avenue and all. But when you get to $50,000
and higher
and more,
millions,
and more, what's the difference, Mr. Gary?
Well, end of the day, it's still a loan. It's very important to our customers, and we try and treat everyone, whether it's a credit card, whether it's a small personal loan, or whether it is a multi-million-dollar request, with the same respect and consideration. Oftentimes, there are situations that we feel that maybe we can't do a loan, but we always want to try to find a way or suggest maybe if you looked at this a little differently, maybe there's a way we could do it. So Liberty Bank is in the business of making loans, so it's important to us that we look at every opportunity possible and give it a thorough review, an honest, thorough review in terms of its repayment, what is the ability as far as serving the communities we're in, and trying to find a way to make good quality loans, which in turn help build this community further.
So what's the difference between a $50,000 loan, a $150,000 loan, $1 million loan, $1 billion loan? If somebody thinks they know what they want to do, how do you talk to somebody who's getting increasingly higher loan requests, because they are requests, but what's the difference with more and more money?
Well, believe it or not, that there's oftentimes not a whole lot of difference. We have very small loans that are important to individuals and yet have complications that need to be worked through. We have large loans that are multi-million dollars that sometimes are very easy to put together. Sometimes they take months, or even situations where it's taken years. But every loan is unique and different. And all I can say is that we try and do our best to serve the community and to make everybody proud as far as Liberty Bank.
And so, if somebody's wide open and they say, I want to do a loan, but I'm not sure what kind of loan, what are the different kinds of loans that you can talk to people about?
Well, as a full service community bank, both in terms of consumer and business loans, commercial loans, we look at all aspects of things. One of the things that Liberty does very well is that I would say everything is unique and customized for the most part. Part of my lineage is with some larger banks all the way up through J.P. Morgan. So I came over to Liberty Bank 4 years ago, and it's been a privilege and an honor to serve this community and to try and be creative and do things positive.
Okay. So
one of the things that Gary told me recently that I thought was interesting is when individuals or entities are trying to get these loans, just be transparent. Give us all the information, the good, the bad, the ugly. And if you give it up front, then we can work together and things may work out better. But it slows the process down, and other complications can set in. So I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that.
Well, a lot of our job winds up being consultative in terms of we actually try and work with individuals, understand their lending needs, understand their personal or business needs as far as borrowing money, but also work with them, give suggestions if something is not possible, or find a way to make a good quality loan. So a lot of it actually, one of the things I'm very happy to always say is that, look, we'll take a look at the loan request transaction that you presented us. The most important thing is that we will not charge you a thing, no money from you up front at all until we get a loan approved. So as a customer, you indirectly or directly get a lot of free advice. One of the things that you don't find at the larger banks is that it's kind of a cookie cutter mentality that you have to fit in a certain box to make things work. And I've been in that situation as a borrower, customer of some other banks myself, and just couldn't get things to work out because it wasn't the right fit for them. What we do is highly customized, highly tailored for this community and other communities that we're serving. Liberty Bank's in 11 states, has a physical presence at this point, and we also lend nationwide. So every day, as I like to say, is an adventure, and we do as much as possible from when I get there until when we leave.
So can you tell us the difference between a creditor and a equity partner?
Okay, well, the bank is a creditor. The money is owed to us. We're a lender, and one of the things that you need to understand is that end of the day, the bank needs to have a good quality loan and to try everything possible to make sure that is well structured and that is repaid. Because the money lent, it's not just the bank's money and the equity in the bank, it's our depositors' money. So we have a fiduciary duty to make certain that we try and be stalwarts of the bank and safeguard the bank in terms of its performance, but also for our depositors, because deposits that are coming to the bank are actually the depositors lending the bank money to in turn lend out. But an equity partner is someone who takes a risk, not as a lender, as a creditor to be repaid, but somebody who invests in a business. So a lot of times we look for equity capital to be put into transactions. That money is at risk, and that is lower down the food chain in terms of its repayment, because the creditors, the bank, has to be repaid before the equity partners.
So, Angel, correct me if I'm wrong, but that means all the people who have automatic deposit from their jobs, and the people who are adding more, creating that Christmas fund that you talked about before, people who have savings accounts and maybe multiple savings accounts at Liberty Bank, they're a part of funding the bank and available money for some of these loans. Is that right?
So it's a reciprocal relationship. And another thing to think about is Mr. Alden McDonald will often say, I've heard him say, you want to bank with Liberty before you need Liberty, because it's always about relationships. And so if you have those deposits coming in, you have the savings accounts, you're responsibly using the low interest credit card, and now you're ready to buy a building to expand your business, it's easier to say yes, because not only are we looking at the tax returns and the credit score, but we're looking at the relationship, the responsible relationship and commitment you've invested in Liberty. So it makes it easier for Liberty to invest in you.
Yep.
It's a reciprocal relationship.
Good. So one of the things that I want to know, Mr. Gary, is, and Joe mentioned credit score. Now, I want to know what's a good marginal, safe, exceptional credit score for loans, and what if it's not an individual loan? Do the businesses have to have a credit score? But hold on to that thought, because we're going to take a break, but I want to know something about that on the other side of the break. All right, folks, we're taking a break, and we'll be back in conversation with Angel Burns and Gary McNamara right after this break. This is WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
It's off the top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
A 17-year-old boy recently fell to his death at the infamous Plaza Towers high-rise, a blighted structure which has been abandoned since 2002. For whatever reason, the young man was there with friends. No one should be injured or die because a dilapidated building has been empty and neglected for years. My question, what obligation does government have when a privately owned hazard remains standing, unsecured, and dangerous year after year? Jacques St. Anne, a Belle Chase High School student, died after entering Plaza Towers with friends. According to police, the group climbed to an upper floor, and while descending a stairwell with no safety railings, Jacques fell to his death. Another teenager suffered serious lacerations to his arm and wrist. Plaza Towers has a long history of dangerous mishaps. In May 2021, a bicyclist was struck and injured by a piece of material that fell from the skyscraper. In January 2022, firefighters answered a 2-alarm fire at the structure. Investigators discovered multiple points of origin. In January 2023, more debris fell from the tower. In April 2023, firefighters were again called to the building. And the next day, a homeless man fell to his death from the tower. Former Mayor LaToya Cantrell subsequently acknowledged that demolition was being considered. The Inspector General questioned whether the city's response was adequate and pushed for stronger action. Now, to be fair, demolition isn't cheap. Current estimates range around $25 to $28 million, an improbable challenge for a city that's hard-pressed for cash. Meanwhile, city officials are hoping the proposal by the building's owner to develop the high-rise structure into apartments will materialize sometime in 2027. But similar proposals have surfaced and vanished since 2007. The developer may eventually turn Plaza Towers into apartments, and I'd like to see that happen. But a proposal is not a safety plan, and doing nothing to secure a hazardous building is not acceptable. Do we wait to see what the Plaza Tower does when we've waited for him to take action for 24 years? I ask again, what obligation does government have when a privately owned hazard remains standing, unsecured, and dangerous year after year? This is Norman Robinson off the top.
Late nights are made for chillin', and you can do just that every Sunday night at 10 p.m. as DJ Wick brings you The Love Zone. It's the perfect way to top off your weekend with your favorite old and new school ballads. So sit back, relax, and let DJ Wick take you to the Love Zone on WBOK and on the World Wide Web at WBOK1230.com.
What if you could pull up a chair at the same table as your doctors? Join me, Kimber White Dupree, as I welcome board-certified physicians, Dr. Princess Dinner and Dr. Darlanda Reno Harris. For Table Rounds, we're bringing those meaningful medical conversations out of the hospital and into our community. Health topics that matter most, from the health disparities and menopause to mental health and much more. Table Rounds with Dr. Princess Dinner and Dr. Darlanda Reno Harris. Every fourth Monday at 10 a.m. on the front porch, because better conversations lead to better health.
A careless driver can change your life in an instant. Do you know what to do or who to call? If you've been injured in a motor vehicle accident and do not have an attorney, call Auto Accident Help Desk for a free consultation. We can answer all of your questions and estimate the potential value of your case. Call Auto Accident Help Desk and connect with an expert personal injury attorney.
Call 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524.
Don't worry how to handle your medical bills, lost wages, and pain. We will get you the money you deserve.
They got me way more than the insurance company offered.
The consultation is free, and you do not pay any legal fees unless we win or settle your case. Make the smart call. If you've been injured in an auto accident, call Auto Accident Help Desk for a free legal consultation.
Call 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524.
This is Andronica Morris, host of Put Housing First. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock, where we will discuss how housing affects every aspect of our lives and what's necessary, what's needed to guarantee housing for all. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock as we dig down deep onto the issues that affect all of us.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. It's 8:50 a.m. You got to be there at 9. You got 10 minutes, so hopefully you're not 15 or 20 minutes away. If you got 10 minutes to get there or less, you might be in good shape, especially if you're walking out the door. Watch out for babies and kiddos around those schools. Remember, it's 20 miles per hour, not 25, 30, and certainly don't try the police and say, but it was 45 an hour slowing down. Just go ahead and slow down before you get there so that you can make sure that you're safe and everybody else is safe as well. We're getting back into our conversation with our friends from Liberty Bank. We've got Angel Burns and Gary McNamara. And before we went to break, I wanted to know a little bit about those loans and credit scores. What do you need if you're an individual? And let's say you want a $1,000 loan versus a $50,000 loan. Is there a difference with what kind of credit score that you need?
Well, I mentioned that a lot of things that Liberty does is highly customized. For the most part, we try and work within a range of credit scores. A good credit score, it depends on, first of all, the circumstance the individual has gone through, and there are exceptions as far as different, financial problems people have had, bankruptcy. It depends on how they've conducted and repaid after that. But we look at all kind of different ranges of credit scores. A good credit score could be in the 700s up to, I think they go 850 these days. But we rarely see anybody in the 800s.
Right.
So everybody has issues and has. First of all, it's good to have a credit score because we have some customers that we wind up doing loans for that maybe they don't borrow, so they sometimes don't have a credit score. Every individual situation is different, and we try and look at everyone's unique characteristics. A credit score is just one piece of the pie that goes into consideration. On a personal side, obviously, it's your income, employment income, it's your assets, it's any cash you may have if you have deposits with Liberty Bank, or you have other savings. That all goes into consideration. Today, a credit score is just one piece of the pie in terms of making a decision on a loan basis. You asked previously before the break in terms of business loans. It's the same thing. We do want a secondary source of repayment for business loans, which involves the individuals standing behind their business as guarantors. If we're going to put money into the business because we believe in it, we want you as a borrower, as a business borrower, to stand behind your business and as far as a personal guarantee. We look at a credit score as one component part, but it's not the do-all, end-all.
Okay. All right. Very good. So let's get back to the Senior Vice President, Specialized Lending and Legal Counsel. All right. So you're a banker. Unless I'm wrong, I don't know that there are too many bankers who are doctors, or too many bankers who are chefs.
I can't cook.
But banker, legal counsel. So which came first, and why and how did this happen?
Well, I think I start off mentioning that my father was a banker. If you all, some of our listeners could remember the original Bank of New Orleans, B&O. My father was a banker with Bank of New Orleans, and then the original First Commerce, First NBC years ago. So I kind of got exposed to it at a very young age, but decided to go to business school and law school. And I've always kind of straddled both worlds in terms of business and legal work. Did some venture capital legal work, did some litigation. My wife, I literally had some very long hours as far as appealing some cases to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals and even the U.S. Supreme Court. That was, up almost 48 hours straight. So decided that maybe my best approach was to be on the front end of things, where we could actually lend some legal expertise, advice, help in terms of structuring loans, trying to avoid problems for banks. And from the day that I first job as far as with a local bank, it was always kind of a dual role. So it's something I've grown into. But the best thing is that every day, as opposed to looking at issues and problems that we have to deal with, it's how to solve things. It's how to solve things up front so we don't have issues. It's how to help customers in terms of offering a very customized approach. I'm thinking back to a story as far as one of the things that was very rewarding for me personally as far as helping individuals. Looked at a loan. It was for a minority church, and they had been taken advantage of by some bond issuance previously, lost a lot of money. I think the bond issue went defunct, and they actually came to me. It was another bank at the time, but came to me as far as, can you find a way we want to try and get this church, which was only about 30% completed construction, finished. And so I looked at it. I came up with a creative strategy. Some of the parishioners and some of the board members themselves had to put in sweat equity in terms of doing some of the work themselves, because they needed, it was that tight of a budget to get this completed. We get ready to close the loan and did the legal work as far as the title, and found out that the church, after the money they put into the transaction from years prior, we determined that they did not actually own the property. That they had a loan closing with some other individuals, and the property, the title was never cleared to put them in ownership.
Oh boy!
So it was really quite a surprise to them too, and all their records that they had. This was before the closing was before Hurricane Katrina. All their records that may have proved otherwise, or title insurance, had been lost, had been washed away. So they had nothing. So we started just basically calling people, going back and tracing the title to the property as far as the mortgage records and the conveyance records as far as ownership. And law firm that had closed it, all their records got washed away in Hurricane Katrina too. I'm not sure what happened, whether it was an error or what. We just didn't know.
Wonderful.
So, but
that's quite a story. Oh my goodness!
But I wound up out of desperation calling another attorney and saying, "You have a lien on this property that basically is superior to the bank's interest we're trying to get. Is there any way that you consider releasing it?"
Right.
So he says, "I've been dealing with this for years and years," and he goes, "I don't know. Let me get back with you."
Well,
just to make
good thing you were that was the attorney in you
let me just
making that read. So we're going to have to get out of here and move on to the front porch, and then Tavis Smiley, and then the G-Man on the reality check. So thank you all for coming in, our friends from Liberty Bank, and remember, Community Bank, small enough to be a part of the community, large enough to do big things too. Is that right, Angel?
We're here for everyone to meet all of your financial goals.
All right. This is WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.